Realtors, don't you hate when you have a stale listing? Don't you hate when the property's been sitting on the market for so long and there's no interest? Hey guys, Corey Brown, Immaculate Home Builders, the Equity Savers. We offer a pre-listing renovation concierge service to help all your sellers and all of your listings. Today, we're going to talk about what it means to have a stale listing and 5 things you can do to get the listing on sale. So, what is a stale listing, guys? A stale listing is a property that has been listed on the market and has been sitting for anywhere between 30 to 45 days with no interest. After 30 to 45 days, that listing is considered stale because it has marginal interest, it's not under contract, and it's not getting sold. This is extremely aggravating to your client. It's extremely aggravating to your broker. And quite frankly, as the realtor, you're pissed yourself because you want the property to sell, you want to make your commission, you want the client to be happy. Well, today I'm going to talk about 5 different things that you can do as the realtor to get the property sold. Option number 1, ask for feedback from your realtor partners. So, all realtors have colleagues and friends in different brokerages and even in the same brokerage that they are in, right? When a property is on the market and it's sat for too long, well, you may not always know exactly what to do to get the property sold. So the first thing you should do is congregate between the people in your brokerage. Talk to your broker, talk to your colleagues, talk to your friends, and try to get an idea of maybe what you're doing wrong to get this property sold at the highest price or get it sold fast, because obviously it's sitting for a reason, right? 2 brains are better than 1. 4 people is a crowd. People are able to give you advice, give you information to get your property sold so the property's not sitting on the market and you're able to make money. So the first thing you want to do is talk to your peer group, talk to other realtors, talk to people in your brokerage, and see if they can give you some advice or some information to get the property sold. Option number 2, lower the price, right? They always say in real estate, the market dictates the price. And I'll say that again. In real estate, the market dictates the price. Well, what does that mean? That means that if the property's sitting for too long, chances are the price is probably too high, right? So what you want to do is try to evaluate what's going on in the demographic. Check some of the comparables. Again, talk to your broker, talk to other real estate agents. Have what's called a broker's open to get other brokers and other real estate agents into the property to take a look around to see kind of what the situation is and why the property isn't selling. People are not going to spend more money on a property that they know that they can get for less. Everybody has access to Zillow, Redfin. Even some have access to the MLS. So they're able to see the conditions of the property, what the other properties are selling for, when they sold. All of it is public information. So there's no smoke and mirrors. There's no hiding. Everybody has full access. So chances are the price that you have in place is probably a bit too high and you may want to lower it. So that's option number 2. Option number 3 is take a look at the properties in a 1-mile radius that has sold at the highest price. This is extremely important. I do this all the time. There are a lot of resources and websites that you can use, but the easiest thing that you can do is go on Zillow if you don't have access to the MLS. If you are a realtor, go on the MLS and look at the properties in a 1-mile radius that sold in the last 3 months. And they will tell you generally what the properties look like, what they sold for, the amenities that they have, and how your property compares to the property that the property sold, right? This is probably my biggest go-to, right? I use a website called PropWire. Really, really great website that I can go and get information from. Obviously, I have access to the MLS, so I can always go on the MLS and look at the properties that sold. And then you can go on your traditional Redfin. But let me tell you how you really evaluate this, right? So when you look at the properties that sold, let's just say you're not a realtor and you're able to get on Redfin or Zillow, right? You take a look at the listings that sold in the 1 mile radius preferably on the same block. That's a sneaky one, right? If property sold on the same block in that neighborhood, you take a look at those properties and you see what they sold for. You get a pen and pad and you write down the square footage, the bedroom and bathroom, and you look at all of the amenities that the properties that sold at the highest price and what they sold for. Is it an open concept, right? Is it fully renovated? Does it have stainless steel appliances? Is it a huge backyard? Is it a huge front yard? Is the basement finished? Are the mechanicals updated? These are very, very, very important things that you need to figure out when you take a look at why your property is considered stale. Because when people look at your property and they look at these other properties, they're choosing the other properties because there is something that your property doesn't have that they can't justify spending the money for. That's 3. Number 4, increase your marketing, right? A lot of times I talk to a lot of realtor partners, and they don't understand why properties aren't selling, right? And then I ask them, well, what have you done in terms of marketing? And a lot of times they'll just be like, oh, I just had an open house. That's not quite gonna do it, people. We're in an age of attention, right? Social media, all types of social media. People are always on their phones. You got to get this property in front of people other than those that are on the MLS. There are homeowners, there are regular consumers that have access to all types of attention grabbers. You need to be in front of everybody. So what does that mean? That means you need to create some marketing material, either on Canva or any platform that you can build out a flyer on. And you need to take this flyer and you need to plaster it everywhere, right? All of the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You need to email blast it. You need to send it to any realtors that you know. You need to get this out to every single person that may or may not be interested in buying a property, because if they're not interested, they may know someone who is. The object is attention. In order to prevent your property from being a stale listing, from the door, you have to create a litany of attention for this property so everybody knows there's a property on the market in this neighborhood. You should hold an open house per week, right? 1 open house per week. You should be email blasting literally every other day. You should be on the phone calling realtor partners, calling other brokers, calling people that you know. You should have flyers made to hit everybody in a 4x4 block radius, meaning 4 blocks east to west and 4 blocks north to south. This is an enormous amount of attention that your property deserves in order to get sold and not be a stale listing. Option number 5, and this is really, really a good one. Offer the buyer's agents an incentive. Well, what does that mean, right? So as a realtor or a broker, when you list the property, there's an option for a commission split. Not going to talk about what that looks like. If you're a realtor, you know what that price generally is between what and what. Now, if you offer an incentive, right? People like money. So if you offer an incentive for the buyer to bring their buyer to your house, now you give them an incentive on what they could make more money if they brought their buyer to you. That is a very, very, very important. Everybody loves money, right? So if your commission is, let's just say, a 6% commission or 5% commission, if you offer a buyer's bonus, or if you offer a little bit more of a commission split, that's going to incentivize that buyer's agent to bring their buyer to your house before they take them to the property up the street. I've seen this happen a million times, people. Listen to me. People are motivated by money. So you want to offer as much money as possible to incentivize that person bringing that buyer to you. And that way your property doesn't become a stale listing. Because let me tell you what happens when your property does become a stale listing. People will evaluate that your property has been sitting on the market for 30 to 45 days. What do you think the first thing they're going to do? You got it. They're going to lower the price. They're going to lowball you. So if your property's at $250 and they seen it's been sitting on the market for 45 days, guess what they're now going to offer you? 235, 225. And now you're upset about the fact that you feel like your property's worth way more, but now people are lowballing you, right? That's the first thing they're going to do. The second thing that they're going to do is be extremely nitpicky and compare your property to the next. Well, your property doesn't have this and it doesn't look like this. Why should I pay that? We are consumers first. So when we go to buy stuff, we want to know that what we are paying for is worth the dollar amount, right? We all are, whether it be a car, clothes, whatever that looks like. We want to know that what we're paying for is worth it. So in order to prevent your property from becoming a stale listing, realtors, you want to make sure that you do all of these options. First thing is you want to get some feedback from your realtor partners, see what they have to say, see what type of feedback they can help you with. Second, you want to lower the price. That could be $5,000, $10,000, $7,500, but you want to lower the price to get people kind of talking and seeing what's going on. The third thing you want to do is you want to look at the properties in a 1 mile radius to see what is sold and what do those properties look like and what do those properties have that your property doesn't have that you can make the adjustments on. The fourth thing you want to do is increase your marketing, people. Marketing is key. Attention is prevalent. You need all the attention as possible. You definitely want to make sure that you market everywhere that you can plaster your property on. And the last thing you want to do is incentivize the buyers, agents to bring their clients to you. It's C Brown, man. Equity Saver Session. Immaculate Home Builders, man. I'm going to be doing these quite frequently just to give information on what I do, and I'll pay a closed concierge program, but also just give you information on what it takes to get these properties sold and get them off the market. Hey, if you are looking for a realtor, if you're looking for a contractor to renovate your properties up front on the market, get it sold at its highest price, give us a call. Immaculate Home Builders. My information is below. It's C Brown, people. I will talk to you soon.